Soul Mag TV. Soul Mag TV. Soul Mag TV. What is it? Speaking on urban life. Soul Mag TV. Soul Mag TV. Soul Mag. Soul Mag. Soul Mag TV. Keeping Christ in the center of the conversation. Welcome to Soul Mag TV. We're speaking on urban life. We're keeping faith in the center of the conversation. I'm your host, Tommy, also known as Urban D. So glad you guys are with us today. We are taking you down south today for a little while. That's right, we got this really dope artist from New Orleans. New Orleans, that's right. I've got my man Dee-1. Dee-1 has this really unique, amazing story. He went and got his degree. He was a school teacher, teaching middle school, all the while at the same time he had these dreams to do music. So he was teaching during the day, recording music at night, doing shows on the weekends, and he started releasing some mixtapes, and the buzz just started growing and growing and growing. And his relationship with Jesus at the same time was building and growing, and God was showing him new things. And so soon he got signed to a major label. Dee-1 came here to Flavor Fest at Crossover Church recently, so we want to show you some footage. Then we're going to sit down and talk to him as well, so stick around, don't go anywhere. We're going to take you to the concert right now where Dee-1 was rocking it.
The main ones you gotta watch be close to you. Black people, we toe up from the floor up. Backstabbing, conniving, the plot. We need to grow up. Every rapper talking about taking somebody, girl. Everything on TV over sexualized. I really hate this. Black people robbing black people killing more black people. It's a fact, people. And my own people wonder if they plot. Smile so bright, heart so right. Pick you apart like new slaves hanging ourselves, minus the noose. I'm signed, but still spitting the truth. Got to, and to tell you the truth, I ain't even mad. Satan sparring with the Godfather throwing jabs. Sing about peace, they get you weak. Everybody. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, earth as it is. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive those who trespass against us. Against us. Everybody say. Everybody say. Everybody say. We some gangsters.
Yeah.
That's who I do it for.
Gangsters, thuggers, hustlers, ballers, shiners, stunners, real shot callers.
Who else?
Texas,
Who else?
Cali,
Who else?
and New
Who else?
Orleans,
Who else? Who else?
Mississippi,
Let me come out.
down to
Hey,
Florida.
we're from 0 to a kilo. And then it go and the people call that a hero. They get a pillow and a match. Sleeping on me. Box spray. And I'm swinging in the winter. Had the box spray. My locks hang to my waistline. Represent patience and determination. Ain't here to take time, digest these great rhymes. They get you high, it's a purpose, 6 seconds. Great vibe. Man, it's nothing to me. People fronting on me, stunting on me. What I'm supposed to do? So much drama every day. I just put my hands together by my head. Everybody.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive those who trespass
Against us.
Won't you tell them no?
Man, having Dee-1 at Flavor Fest was incredible. I mean, when he came out and premiered the Against Us song, Against Us, I mean, he had the whole crowd turned. Everybody was rocking to it right here on this platform. He was going out on the catwalk. It was incredible. So you guys got to see him bring the energy, bring the heat. But now we're gonna sit down and hear a little bit of the story behind the man Dee-1. Because as I said in the intro, he's got a really cool story. He was a middle school teacher who then became a national artist and is out on tour representing now, teaching the masses. So we're gonna sit down and talk to him, show you one of his music videos. Dee-1.
Okay. Well, I grew up in the church. I grew up in the Catholic church in New Orleans. And it was always a tradition to go to church on Sundays and, you know, to have a relationship with God, to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. But growing up, it was more tradition than necessity. So it wasn't until I got to college and got out on my own and really had to make the decision of, do I want to continue this relationship, with with my Creator, moving forward, or am I just gonna slack off, in my faith? And when I got to college, I reached the lowest point in my life thus far. I had a lot of tough times that were hitting me all within a short span, from Hurricane Katrina, hitting New Orleans, to one of my best friends got murdered, actually, to a girl who I was in a relationship with at the time. We broke up. That didn't go well, and it was just a lot of stuff hitting me from various angles, and I was struggling to find my purpose and my identity, of why I'm here on earth. So that's the part where I really realized that, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, that was the rock that I could always count on, and that my relationship with God was something that was not gonna move or be shaken, even through these tough times. And once I realized that, I began not only to want to lean on Him in tough times, but to just live for Him and glorify Him through all times, because every single day that I'm alive is another blessing, another thing to be thankful for. And it's like, this is who I need to be glorifying with every single, action, every movement, every thought, everything that I do, every talent that I've been given. So that's how I really came to, be a believer and rededicate my life to Christ. And now, by me being a hip hop artist, this is just another realm in which I can glorify, the Lord. It's through my music, and also through my lifestyle, through my walk. So that's how I came to be a believer. And now it's about influencing those around me through not only my testimony and my words, but through them seeing my accomplishments and my actions and my lifestyle. My style, what, musically? Yeah. My style is like a bowl of gumbo. It's a little bit everything. In gumbo, you have shrimp, you have chicken, you have crab meat. You have a little bit of everything. You got the nice roux, that it's in. You got rice. So my style, it's a little bit, thought-provoking and conscious. So when you think of like Nas or something, it's a little bit revolutionary. When you think of like a Tupac, it's obviously Christian. So when you think of Lecrae, it's New Orleans as far as the draw. So you think of Lil Wayne. You put all that together in one person, and that's me. And it's definitely unapologetic about the fact that I'm on a mission. I call it Mission Vision, which is what I represent. That's my brand. And Mission Vision is about, having your threes up, and that stands for be real, be righteous, and be relevant in everything you do. So that's my style. It's something that hasn't been seen in hip hop before, and that's the only reason why I continue to do it, is because I feel like I'm adding something. I know I'm adding something new and unique to the game, a different perspective, I'm a different package than what hip hop has seen, and I think that's fun for the fans. As far as music, I just signed a record deal and was signed with RCA, and I'm putting out my first formal single through them. This will be coming out Tuesday, October 14th, which is also a big day for me because I'm on the BET Hip Hop Awards Cypher that same day. But my single that comes out, I couldn't ask for a better single to introduce me to the world and to really be my first stamp, in mainstream hip hop. And it's a song called Against Us, and it'll be for sale on iTunes and all digital, music providers that day. And it's a song that really challenges the traditional way of thinking. It challenges people's life and people's, it challenges what people prioritize in life. And it's basically saying, either you're for us or you're against us in terms of this mission that I'm on. So if you're against us, that's okay. I don't judge you as a person, and I don't hate you as a person, but I'm drawing the line because I have to know it's a spiritual war going on every day. Every day it's a spiritual war. So, Satan and God, throwing jabs at one another. It's like it's constantly a fight. So with that being said, I need to know who's for us, me and my comrades and my soldiers that we going to war with, and we need to know who's against us. So that's my first single. It'll be out October 14th, and that'll be followed up by my project, my first project I'm gonna put out It's called the 3 is Up EP, and I told you what the 3 is Up represent: be real, be righteous, be relevant. So that'll be coming out January 6th.
Hey guys, we're back with our final segment of Soul Mag this episode today. And hope you guys enjoyed my man Dee-1. We're always trying to bring you the latest and hottest cats that are out there. And we're trying to bring you artists that you need to know as well. So in the last segment, we got my man Dillon Chase. Maybe you've heard of him, maybe you haven't. He has done some stuff with Lecrae, some other well-known artists as well. But Dillon's real talented. He's not one-dimensional. He's even done some worship stuff, and when he's been here to crossover before, he's even brought his son with him to DJ. Like his 10-year-old son would be over here on the turntables getting it in. So we're gonna sit down with Dillon, gonna see a little bit of his music. Check him out.
Working with Lecrae happened actually quite a while ago. We recorded that track in early 2006, and it was just real organic and natural. I was a new believer. Me and my wife, I got married and moved to Denton, and we're going to church together. I was helping him do some studio work as he recorded after the music stops. I do audio engineering, that's what I went to school for. And then I got the call, he wanted to work on a track together. And hey, you know, I was excited. So I came ready, like with my bars and everything, and we recorded it. And it was supposed to be on his album when he was with Cross Movement, and they didn't use it. And like, Lecrae is a very generous person, and he just said, I'm not gonna use the track, I'll give you full rights to it, and you can put it on your album. And so it happened real naturally, and then later we worked again together in 2011, and that was a little harder to coordinate, schedule and everything like that. And he squeezed in time, and he recorded it in Atlanta, and he sent it to me, so. Yeah, so I was the guy in worship, and I love worship music. I love worshiping God, but I love hip hop too, and very expressive. So I'd always find myself in worship settings during those instrumental builds, right? Before the bridge comes, people probably looking at me like I was crazy because I just feel like words coming to me. So those worship remixes started rapping just to myself at worship services, right? 2009, I was getting ready to work on a free project, and I was just like, I'm just gonna go for it. And so I did a remix to How He Loves, and actually got David Crowder's email, because David Crowder and Tadashi are actually pretty good friends, and emailed it to David Crowder, and he liked it, and I got the go ahead to just put the remix on the free mixtape. It was to How He Loves, and the response, like I knew it was something God was calling me to do, and most people either hate it or they love it. It's normally not in between, but there's a lot of people who love it. And some of those songs have probably been, even more so than my songs with Lecrae, have been far more reaching, and other churches have began to invite me to work with their worship teams and help lead worship. So it's been a huge blessing and an open door. Yeah, so a lot of times in ministry, you either can feel it pulling you away from your family, and I started to feel that. And so I began to try to, not sacrifice my family on this altar of ministry, but to include them, which is a blessing. And so I saw my son playing Xbox, and I'm like, if he can figure out all those controls, he can figure out, because I can't, there comes a time when you can't keep up with your kids and technology. And so I bought him a DJ board. We started off small, then we got a bigger one. And he actually has a very good sense of music and timing, and he tries to do a little too much sometimes, so I have to be sure, when I turn around and give him a type of word of correction that I would normally give my DJ, I have to remember he's my son first. Because there could be times I can look around and be like, hey, don't play that track. And it's like, he looks like he's crushed. He's disappointing his dad. He hasn't disappointed Dillon Chase. He feels like he's disappointing his dad. So as the months progress, we started in 2013, I've learned to deal with him in a very tender way, and be father and son, not rapper and DJ, but we're father and son. And it's good accountability for me. I'm not alone out on the road. We get time in the Word. We just have intimate time together as father and son. And then my wife, she does my booking, and she travels with me whenever she can. So it's been good to have the family. My daughter's too young to really contribute, but I'm sure we're gonna put her to work when she gets old enough. I find myself discouraged because I really can't invest the way I want to in all the people that I care about. It's hard enough trying to find time to invest in those who are most important to me, my wife and my children, and just other family and friends and people I meet on the road. You know who you are, so
Right now, let's just say it's me and you. But you feeling like a castaway ever since your daddy passed away. Can't tell if you sad or you mad. Is that happy face just cover up and mask the way you feel pain so deep? You don't even sleep, you don't even make a peep when the headphones keep on the nonsense out. You feel love as sheep, eyes closed. I know your song on repeat, and I wish I could hold your hand just to make you feel whole again. I can't console you in. I just try to put a smile on your face to replace all the loneliness. Now listen, affection from boys who think that your men is just making it harder. This message is short. They cannot replace the love that you should take from a father. And I know it's count. Social media provide relief. Take a pic, hit refresh. How many likes were saved? I know you don't want my advice. Sometimes you can't stand me, but I love you dearly. Just hear me out, young girl, we family. God says you're beautiful, and He made the stars. You don't need boys to say you are, and you have no idea how I pray so hard. So let's conversate through the track that I'm singing to. Put them headphones on, cause right now it's just me and you. Me and you, it's just me and you. Me and you. Put them headphones on, cause right now it's just me and you. I said it's me and you. Just me and you. Meet a lot of people, especially young people, just struggle with so many identity issues. It's like you feel like you're so complicated. No one will ever comprehend, so you pretend that they your friends and make amends. Live a life like you belong with them, huh? Who's fake? Say to y'all two-faced, loose ways. Every day is doomsday, and the one that should've loved you come through with a hug too. Got drunk, man, it's too late. Don't ever think that it's acceptable payback. Yeah, I know what's going on since way back, and you ain't safe where you stay yet. But lend me your ear, let these piano skills calm the confusion. Listen, he's near, there is a plan. Don't feel God's the solution. If your mama's been using, her your pops is abusing. Look, I got you, keep moving. Just live on with pursuing. Dreams from the king inside you. Name brands do not define you. Those Jordans can't describe you. Give your life to Christ who died too. Pay for the pains and causes, taking away big losses, erasing the Hades, washing away all the stains we walk in. I know they criticize, but this is why they just people too. So turn the song up loud, cause right now it's just me and you. Me and you, just me and you. It's just me and you. Turn the song up loud, cause right now it's just me and you. I said it's me and you. Just me and you. My heart goes out just to every person I've met after a show or a concert. You share your heart with me, and I gotta move on, and I can't be there like I want to, so listen. I know we talked after the show. You mad at the fact that I'm having to go. Compassion it grows. I wish I could be there to build you up when you're attacked by your foes. Life's gotta be hard, I can see that. You play your part with a lead at. You give your heart, don't receive jack. When I'm from another, you don't wanna hear the feedback. Relax, relax. Don't mean that I don't care. Just because I'm not always there and I didn't respond to your questionnaire. You may be less aware. I'm able to travel and drop compositions of rhythm, cause my wife and children I live with position themselves before anyone listen. If I was there with you, I would pray with you. But look, there's someone greater who could do what I'm so unable to. We won't fade from view. He'll be there when you're prepared to pour your heart on the floor, saying, God, I'm yours. You gotta give it out love. Let your heart trust in the author who can conquer the sovereign Lord. Yeah, you do things, you swear you never do again. I've been there before, but can't be there now to see you through with friend. It's like you need to have a talk. Slow down when the music ends. Sit down, be still. Right now it's just you and him. It's just you and him.
Hope as you guys were watching Soul Mag TV today, flipping through the channels, that you were reminded that God has got a plan for you, cares about you, He loves you deeply. And so sometimes we can forget that so easily. So I pray even as you were flipping through and you saw like some hip hop and some stuff you could connect with, you were like, wow, okay. God's even speaking to me through hip hop, through a TV show, through some dudes that maybe look like me or have some life experiences like me. We need to be reminded, because God has done a lot of stuff for you, I'm sure, and for me, but many times we can forget so quickly, right? We have what I call spiritual amnesia. And so there's so many stories in the Bible of when the people in the Bible had spiritual amnesia. In the Old Testament, New Testament, I mean, there's dozens and dozens of stories. And we can look at those stories and be like, man, what's wrong with you guys? You saw God do miracles and now you still doubt? But we do the same stuff. One of the biggest stories that sticks out to me is from the Old Testament, and it's the Israelites, after they were freed from slavery, crossed the Red Sea, God took them out of Egypt, Moses led them, they're in the wilderness now, God's giving them food, giving them water, all this amazing stuff, and yet they were regularly complaining. They didn't like the food, they didn't like the water, they were, questioning Moses' leadership, all that. One of the biggest verses that stood out to me was from Exodus chapter 16. I'm going to read it for you. And they said this. They were talking to Moses and Aaron. They were complaining again. They said, if only the Lord had killed us back in Egypt, they moaned. There we sat around pots filled with meat, and we ate all the bread we wanted. But now you've brought us into this wilderness to starve us all to death. So, you notice what they did there? They were talking about Egypt in a positive light. Did you catch that? They were like, oh man, remember that one time that we were like in Egypt and we were sitting around the pots of meat? We're at the all-you-can-eat bread buffet. Hashtag good times. But hold up, wait a minute. Did you forget? You were in slavery, working like 12 hours a day, making bricks in the hot sun, getting paid nothing for the Pharaoh. And that was good times? Are you serious? Like, you're in freedom now. But see, many of us, we look back at Egypt the same way sometimes. What I mean by that, a lot of us, I know I was a slave to sin. I was in bondage. But yet, what spiritual amnesia does, what the enemy does to us, is he blocks these receptors in our mind, and we can't remember the pain. We can't remember all the people we hurt. We can't remember how we messed up everything in our life. We only can remember that moment of pleasure. Sin is fun for a minute, for a little while, for a moment. And that's what the Israelites were looking at, saying, man, in Egypt, remember we had that meat, and man, we had all the bread we wanted. And listen, guys, freedom is not perfect. Life here on this earth, even with having freedom in Jesus, Jesus is perfect. But life here will never be perfect because we're in a sin-fallen planet. So with Jesus, it's better. Absolutely, it's so much better. But it's still not going to be perfect. There's going to be days you're stressed out. There's going to be days you're going through stuff. There's going to be days that you have relationship issues, when you have money problems, or you just, you have a bad hair day. I don't know. Freedom's not going to be perfect. But in those moments when it's not perfect, sometimes that's when we start looking back at Egypt and at our old life, and we're like, oh man, if I could, let me tell you something, don't go there. Don't go back. Some of you that are watching this right now, you went back. You're back in the middle of it right now, and you're like, oh man, why did I come back here? This girl's crazy, or I know I shouldn't have started drinking again, or doing this, or what. Man, let me tell you that God is here with open arms saying, come back. Come back home. He's got you. And if you're home already, but you're thinking about going back to Egypt, don't go there. Freedom is better. Freedom in Jesus is always better. And we have the hope to know that someday when we're out of this flesh and we'll be with him in his presence, there will be no more temptation. There will be no more sin. There will be no more sorrow or drama. And that's the hope that we hold to. So hold to that, SMTV TV fan, today. I'm Urban D. I'm praying for you guys. Don't go back to Egypt. Stay in freedom. And if I don't meet you here on this planet, I'm going to meet you someday on the streets of gold. Peace.